In today's session, let us continue the discussion of transmission line equation and how to find the solution. In the previous session, just let me recall for about the previous session. This was the circuit. We applied KVL and KCL for that. We got some equations. You can see equation 1. After applying KVL, we got this equation 1. And after applying KCL, we got this equation 2. Let me highlight it. This is your equation 2. Okay. After this, what we did, the main aim is to find the differential equations, and we have to solve the differential equations to find the solution. Okay. Solution means we need to get the response, output of the system. We have V and I are the two important variables. In case of transmission lines, they are not simple parameters like numbers, okay, 2 volt, 3 volt, 5 volt, or 2 amps, 3 amps, like that. Instead of that, they are electromagnetic waves. Hence, we need to consider their amplitude as well as the phase. That's why if you see in the phasor forms of the equations, V and I both are written in the phasor forms as V of Z e to the power of j omega t and I of Z e to the power of j omega t. The two variables are Z, that is distance in Z direction, and the time parameter. So Z and t are the two variables. Okay. Then we went for differentiation. Equation 3 and equation 4, we have differentiated equation 3 with respect to Z as well as with respect to t. Similarly, equation 4, we differentiated with respect to t as well as with respect to Z. This was done already in the previous session. After this, we took the help of KVL and KCL equation 1 and 2. Okay. Equation 1, we took. In equation 1, instead of taking the value V as Z comma T, instead of writing it like this, simply we can write V. Okay. And instead of writing I of Z comma T, we can simply replace it with I. That's what has been done in equation 1 and 2. V of ZIT, sorry, V of ZT, I of ZT, they are replaced with simple I and V. Then further, we have differentiated them, and equation in the previous session, we had done till this equation 5 and 6. Hope you remember till this. Let us continue, as we need to go get the second order differential equation. Equation 5 and 6, which we had got, we have to differentiate these two equations one more time, so that we will get the second order equation. Differentiating the equation 5 one more time with respect to Z, the LHS will be dou square, okay, dou by dou Z square of V of Z. So second order differential equation we will get, and it is minus Z. So minus, instead of Z I am writing R plus j omega L. Okay, Z is actually R plus j omega L. We call Z as impedance. And similarly, in equation 6, if you see here, we have taken Y. Sorry, it is not small y. It has to be capital Y. Capital Y is equal to G plus J omega C, where Y is called, capital Y is called the admittance. Okay, admittance of the line. So Z is the impedance, Y is the admittance. So when we differentiate one more time, instead of I of Z, I am taking dou I. Okay, instead of taking this, I am taking dou I. I is simply I am taking I and V. Similarly, okay, let us complete this first. So LHS, keep it as it is. this, keep it as it is. Instead of dou I by dou z, we have already got the equation 6, dou I by dou z itself, which is minus y v of z. So I am writing that minus y is admittance g plus j omega c into v of z. Okay, instead of v of z, I of z, I can simply take I and v. So I have written v because the LHS also has a simple v. Okay, so let us try to denote in both LHS dou square, dou by dou z square of v. You have two negative signs here, so you will get a positive value, r plus j omega l into g plus j omega c into capital V. Okay, make it capital V. So dou by dou z square of v is equal to, I can simply take this as z, this as y, and this is v. So this is your equation 7. Okay, so this is one equation we got it. Okay, it's important equation. Further, we will use this purpose. Okay, this is one part. Let us move to the other part. Equation 6. Differentiate this also one more time. What we did here, equation 5, we differentiated one more time because we wanted second order equation. So similarly, equation 6 also, we will differentiate it one more time with respect to z. When we differentiate it, LHS, I can simply take I minus y, admittance, instead of y I have written g plus j omega c, and v of z, simply I can take v, and as it is with respect to z, dou v by dou z. So LHS is equal to this as it is, minus g plus j omega c as it is, dou v by dou z, equation 5 we got, dou v by dou z. Putting that, minus r plus j omega l into, because the LHS is also having I. Let me take both sides, same notations, I. Okay. Then further continuing, LHS is equal to minus and minus, you'll get a positive sign, g plus j omega c, r plus j omega l into I. Or simply take this as y, admittance, this as impedance into I. So we have got this as equation 8. So starting with the phasor forms, we took the phasor forms. What we did? We differentiated equation 3 and 4, both equations, okay, each one with respect to z and t. Then we took this KVL and KCL, okay, simultaneously you can see it, okay. On the left side, I have done KVL. On the right hand side, equation 2, it is KCL. So equation 1, when you differentiate it one time, you will get equation 5. If you differentiate one more time, because I want second order, you will get equation 7. Similarly, when I take KCL, if I differentiate 6, when I differentiate this one more time, I'll get equation 8. So equations both are very important. They will give you further the solution. Okay. Any doubts in these equations, you can ask me. Any doubts? Let me continue. Okay, where I have already explained this to you, where r plus j omega l is called the impedance, and g plus j omega c is called the admittance. and impedance we call it series impedance, and admittance we call it parallel shunt admittance. Okay? So these are the two equations which we got, equation 7 and equation 8. Further, this is very important because based on this particular parameter, your second derivation exists. What is that? It is when we take the product of impedance and admittance. Don't think that you have a Z and Y, it is just like R and G where they are reciprocals of each other, they get cancelled, which is equal to 1. No, it is not like that. When you take the product, what happens? You are taking the product of R plus J omega L and G plus J omega C. When you take the product of these two, we get some values we get. Okay, further you can see it, what we get. We will get a value which is equal to gamma square. Okay, gamma square. So Z into Y, the product is equal to gamma square, where gamma is called the propagation constant. So in the next upcoming concept, you have the derivation for this particular concept also. So remember, gamma, the propagation constant gamma is equal to, or gamma square is equal to Z into Y, or the propagation constant gamma, only gamma is equal to taking the square root of Z into Y. And how gamma, the propagation constant, is further defined? It is having, because as Z and Y are having a real and imaginary parts, even this gamma will also have real and imaginary parts. When you put Z and Y and take the multiplication, you will get real part and imaginary part. The real part is called attenuation constant alpha, and the imaginary part is called beta, which is phase constant. So there are three new terms coming to you here. One is, first of all, propagation constant. What is propagation constant? Gamma, it is the product of the impedance and the admittance. Okay, square root of Zy is equal to gamma, and gamma is having real and imaginary parts. So the real part is attenuation constant, the imaginary part is phase constant. So this is one general explanation, for which you have a second topic for which you are going to derive some equations also. Okay, now, so what we did now, your title of this topic is transmission line equation and solution. So what we have done now, taking the circuit, we applied KVL, KCL, we took the phasor forms of the equations V and I, we differentiated them 2 times, we got these two, the box which I have put it in the box, these 2 equations we got. So we have now come till half of the derivation. Transmission line equation we got, the differential equation we got. Now we need to find the solution for these equations. So how to find the solution? You have already studied differential equation. You know how to find a solution for a differential equation. If say if I have dy by dx, some equation, let me write, plus 4 dy by dx plus 5 is equal to 0. If this is the equation I have, how will I find the solution for this? Solution means I need to get the equation for y from the differential equation. Differential equation is giving you the behavior of the circuit. From that equation, you are extracting the response, output of the circuit y. How will you find? If you remember, whenever a differential equation is given to you, it has got both LHS and RHS. Very first step is you first find the homogeneous equation. That is, make the equation equal to 0. RHS will be made 0. This is the first step. I have already given you 0. Second step is getting the auxiliary equation. How you find the auxiliary equation? That is finding the roots. Okay, as it is a second order equation, you will go for say yum. Let me take yum as variable, or x also you can take. Already I have used x here, so let me take yum. So yum square plus 4 right, plus, there is no differentiation here, 5. So 2 times, so m square, the power is 2 plus 4m plus 5 is equal to 0. And further you find the roots. Say, let me just take, see, m is equal to, let me take, I'll get 2 and 3. So if I get 2 roots, how the solution will be? The solution will be y is equal to, I have got 2 and I have got 3. So how to write? A e to the power of one value is 2x plus b e to the power of 3x, right? So this is how you find the solution. And further, in your given question, if initial conditions are specified, you make use of those initial conditions and you find A and B. This is how you follow the procedure to find the solution. Similar kind of strategy we will follow here. We have now arrived at the differential equations. So we will make use of the differential equations and then we will find the roots. So as with equation 7 and 8, we have already got these two are the differential equations. We will use them. We will try to find the solution for them. Okay, you can see for equation 7, this is your equation. What I have done, dou by dou z square of v, whatever RHS value you have, let me just take it to the left hand side. So it will become minus zyv is equal to 0. Similarly, for the current differential equation, dou by dou z square of I, whatever RHS term you have, let us take it to the LHS, minus zy I equals to 0. So a pair of equations we get after taking whatever RHS term you have to the LHS. Okay, because this is what we do it, right? Homogeneous equation. So this is one thing, first step is over. Then as it is a second order equation, obviously that I will get 2 roots. Okay, so to find the roots, what I will do, I will take the auxiliary equation. Auxiliary equation for both. Okay, for both it will, because if you see the second term, it is common for both, only the parameter v and I is changing. Here it is v term, here it is I term. So for both, if you take auxiliary equation, as it is a second order, so let me take m square minus zy you have, and there is no differentiation in the second term, so only put it as zy equals to 0. Even if you take the auxiliary equation for second also, it will be same. Then m square, find the value of m here. So m square is equal to zy. Take zy to the RHS. Okay, minus will become plus. Then take the square root. M is equal to plus or minus square root of zy. And just now I have told you, I have explained you what is the square root of zy. Square root of zy is your propagation constant gamma. Okay, so substituting that propagation constant gamma, I will get m is equal to plus or minus gamma, that is alpha plus j beta in turn. Okay, no need to again further substitute, but keeping gamma is enough. So what are the roots we get? M is equal to, one value is I got plus gamma, and second value is minus gamma. 2 roots. Don't think that only one value I get, as it is a square. So it is just like this. M square is equal to 4. If it is like that, m is equal to square root of 4. It is not simply 2. It is a plus or minus 2. Here you will get plus or minus. So 2 roots I'll get. So gamma value plus gamma and minus gamma are the roots. So how will you find how will you write the solution finally? As these are the responses for your differential equation. See, if I take dy by dx, or whatever, if this is your differential equation, this will give you your solution, LHS. Y is equal to. So similarly, our equations, they are having V and I. So that's why LHS will be V of Z and I of Z. I'm specifying Z because it is partial derivative. It is with respect to Z. So V of Z and I of Z, I am specifying the solution. Then V of Z, how we'll write? I have taken the constants as in your textbook it is specified V plus and V minus. You can take A and B also, C, D, A, B, whatever. So any constant you can take. But in your textbook, plus V plus and V minus, that too, this is a subscript, okay, a smaller value. It is not, the size is not same, smaller value. Like this it is specified. So let me take the same. So this is first constant, e to the power of, the first root is gamma into z. Why I am taking z? If this is your equation, the solution will be a e to the power of whatever root you get, m value into x. So with respect to what you are differentiating, that will come here. So here we are differentiating with respect to z. So let me take z as the exponential power, and v minus into e to the power of second root is minus gamma z. So this is for V. Similarly, I told you for both equations, you will get the same auxiliary equation. Okay, repeat all these things for one more time. For current, you will get the second equation. If you repeat all this auxiliary equation and everything, anyhow, roots will be same. The current equation will be, exponential terms are same, but however, you cannot take V plus and V minus as the constant, because if you take here A and B, take here C and D. Other the constants value may be same, may not be same. So let us take a different value. So let us take I plus and I minus, indicating the current. Okay. So equation 1 and 2 are actually the solution for your transmission line equation. Okay. So V plus and V minus, I plus and I minus, they indicate the constants. Further, what it has been done is, in equation 1, if you see, we have V plus and V minus, V is equal to, and equation 2 is I is equal to I plus I minus. So further in the solution, you can change these parameters. Equation 1 has V. Try to represent equation 2 in terms of V plus and V minus. You can do that. So how that is done? Let's see. From equation 5, taking as a reference, let me show you what is equation 5. We had done this. Try to remember. This was the phasor equations. We differentiated equation 3 and 4 with respect to Z and T. Okay, 3 and 4. So 4 values we get, 4 time differentiation. Then when we took KVL, okay, we differentiated one time, only one time, we got equation 5. So taking this equation as a reference, dou by dou Z of V of Z is equal to minus Z I of Z. So let us take this equation as a reference. Okay. From that equation, dou by dou Z is equal to what we got? Minus Z I of Z. So Z is R plus J omega L. Minus R plus J omega L into I of Z, minus, in the next step, dou by dou Z of V is equal to minus r plus j omega L. Instead of I, the solution what I got, equation 2, I of z is equal to I plus e raised to gamma z plus I minus e raised to minus gamma z. So this second equation I am substituting. Then instead of this, for simplicity, let me keep it as a z only. Okay, instead of writing r plus j omega L every time, let me take z in simple way. Okay, so this is dou v by dou z is equal to one equation I got. Now, what is first equation? First equation is for v of z. And what I got here, star equation, you can see it is also for v, but I have some differentiation is existing here. Partial derivative is existing, dou v by dou z. So if I take the differentiation of this, okay, I can equate both LHS. Let us do that. So I will take equation 1, try to understand. When we got the solution, equation 1 and 2, we can stop till this. But since we can express these constants one in terms of the other, we are continuing further. Taking the reference of equation 5, what we did, dou v by dou z is equal to minus z I of z. I of z from equation 2 I have substituted, we got star equation. But equation 1 is for v of z. So if I differentiate this, dou by dou z of v of z, if I take that, dou by dou z of v of z, if I take that, I will get something here. Okay, so this is also dou v by dou z, and star equation is also dou v by dou z. So I can equate both the LHS for comparison. If I equate them, I can compare every term. So let us do that. So if I differentiate the equation 1, what I'll get? Differentiate equation 1. Dou by dou z of v of z is equal to v plus differentiation of this will be e raised to x will be e raised to x only. E raised to ax will be a into e raised to x. So that constant will come here, gamma into e raised to gamma z, plus, let me keep here, plus v minus into, as we have here negative sign, one negative sign will come, hence this will become negative. So minus e raised to minus gamma z. So gamma into e raised to minus gamma z. So what I did, equation 1, I differentiated with respect to z. So I got second equation. So now what we will do, we will compare these two equations. One is dou v by dou z star 1 equation, you can see, and second one is dou v by dou z star 2 equation. If I compare, if I make both LHS equal, I can take RHS also equal. If I compare, what will happen? What is the coefficient of e raised to gamma z? Minus z I plus. Right? What is the coefficient? Minus z I plus. And what is the coefficient of e raised to gamma z here? It is v plus gamma. So that's what I'm doing here, comparing the coefficients. If I compare, coefficients are this for first term. Okay, and for second term, you see, compare, coefficients are, this is 1 I minus, and here it is, sorry, negative should also be included, minus v minus gamma. So these two comparisons will happen when I compare. First comparison I have written, you can see it, v plus gamma is equal to minus z I plus, or readjustments I plus equal to v plus gamma by z, or simplify, gamma is equal to square root of zy substitution, or rationalize it, take z can be written as root z into root z. Okay, if you solve it, Z cancels, you'll get root of y by z. If you take, you'll get root of y by z, and then root of, okay, this is important, root of z by y is equals to z naught. Important, it is called characteristic impedance of a transmission line. Okay, you will be getting this throughout your subject and in many of the things. So remember, square root of z by y, impedance by admittance, is equal to characteristic impedance whose value is 120 pi, 377 ohm. Okay, so this is one thing which I have written here. So I plus is represented in the form of V plus. So I can replace that. Similarly, second comparison, I have solved it. I plus, I will get it as this. So I plus can be represented in the form of V plus. I minus can be represented in the form of V minus. So further, what I can do, simply substitute here, instead of I plus and I minus, write V plus by Z naught, V minus by Z naught. Okay, just substitute instead of I plus and I minus whatever value we have got after solving. So these two are the pair of transmission line equation solution. So we have covered in today's class the equation continued part and the solution. Any doubts in this?